boys and girls, and welcome back to the ThePsychicZombie's Skyrim playthrough. Did I just refer to myself in the third person? I think I did. I just referred to myself in the third person. What a douche. So anyway, before I get started with finishing the Thieves Guild questline, which I had planned to do, I thought I would explain to any and all viewers that I have added some mods since the last playthrough. I thought I would go ahead and kind of list them. Obviously right here is the Asteria. I've kind of established this as my player home. People should be familiar with that if they've seen previous episodes and whatnot, so this is nothing new. But first of all, I guess I will list them, because I will list right here. And first of them being a quality world map, which, as you can see here, it's pretty easy to know. It's pretty simple. It adds roads, and that together with another one, which is like 3D map, kind of just makes it, obviously higher quality world map. Belt fastened quivers. I will show you in a minute. It basically changes where the quiver is located on your character model. It doesn't really change anything in the game, but I like the aesthetic look of it, so I put that in there. Build your own home, which is a mod where someplace located, you kind of like find this shack and you get to kind of build your own house. And I haven't really done it yet. I saw it on a video and I thought it'd be cool to do at some point, but it'll be quite a while most likely before I get around to doing anything like that. Deuce Mons, which is a player home. It's a really cool one too. You have to like slay a dragon before you get it, which is something I'm looking forward to doing at some point in the future. Diamond armor smithing, basically just added some diamond armors. So like for Daedric, you have like diamond armor. It's just like armor with diamond in it, and then like for something like Orcish, you have emerald. So it's like green looking. So it kind of changes some of the armor looks in it. It's probably better than most armors as well. It's heavy armor too, I believe. And there's one I'm not going to say just yet. I want to kind of surprise someone with everyone with that. It's Dragonbone complete armor and weapons. So actually these are two separate mods. One is weapons and one is armor. And what this does is add Dragonbone armor, so there are some new armors in here. Dragon Knight armor, which is just more Dragonbone armor, except it looks kind of like a knight thing. Enhanced Night Skyrim. You will notice at night, I will show someone, but the stars look really cool. There's some kind of like enhanced night, obviously. FC Kagur's Instant Fortress. Basically, at some point, there's this thing that you can find that you just kind of open it up and there's a fortress wherever you place it. It's a player home that you can actually like pick up and move around, so that's pretty cool. I added that in. That's another thing I probably won't do for a while. Hedge Knight armor, which is just another kind of armor. High quality 3D map. That's what I was talking about before. Hobbit Hole. I showed this last time, I believe, or maybe not. At Hobbit Hole, basically over here. I actually don't think I did, but right there's a Hobbit Hole, and it's basically modeled after the home in the Hobbit, Lord of the Rings. Immersive armors, added a ton of armors to the game. Inigo, there is a new follower who has like thousands of dialogue lines, and ivory weapons and armor. Basically, instead of ebony, there's ivory, so if you want to be like a white knight instead of a black knight, there's that. There's Leveler's Tower, I showed you that. Lore-friendly Darksiders armor and weapons, which is from the game Darksiders. It added some of that armor into the game. Magicka Sabers, there's lightsabers, and I actually have some of those in my home. I will show you at some point. But the lightsabers, yeah. There's another one that it's kind of novelty. I want to wait to surprise people with that. Moonlight Tales. It's an overhaul of werewolves, and with the Dragonborn DLC, it allows you to become like a much more customizable werewolf and or werebear. This actually allows you to play as a werebear, and to my knowledge, you are not able to do so just with the DLC, because there's actually a Dragonborn DLC which adds werewolves to the game, and with the DLC you couldn't play as one, which I thought was kind of disappointing, so I put that in there because I would definitely want to be a werebear. So yeah, there is that. And there's Moonpath Through Elves, where it's I believe Argonian or Khajiit, or maybe both, kind of like questline that adds a bunch of new map stuff. One Piece Devil Fruits. There's an anime I watch, One Piece. I'm sure some of you have heard of it. If not, you can Google it. In the anime, there's magic fruit that gives you powers, and this mod has basically put some of those fruits in. Not the coolest fruits, but I mean, it's there. I may not use it ever, but it is there for sure at some point if I decide I want to use it. Power of the Gods. It adds a bow with an enchantment that basically, whenever you hit something, it gets frustrated, and I thought that was pretty cool. If I find that, I'll definitely put that in there. There's another hideout, and then there's another thing that adds enchantments. So whenever you use a weapon that's enchanted, you like take it out or something, you can kind of see the enchantment on it. Like for this bow, is a Dragonbone bow, by the way. You can kind of see the lightning on it because I enchanted it. And then a quest line, some new islands, Talos Islands, which are actually over there. You can see they've kind of added the game, as well as one which is really novelty. I'll show that in like a very long time, and then the Asteria. So those are all my mods, and I thought before I jumped in, this is kind of gonna be like a pretty like get you up to date episode, so probably skippable if you've made it here and you're like, oh my god, when is he gonna start doing stuff. It's probably a pretty much skippable episode, but anyway, okay, so I didn't show you, but I did basically off screen, because I thought it would be boring, I made some of new armor, and I like upgraded it, and I enchanted it a bunch, so now I have new armor. And as you can see here, I have, it's from the Darksiders. So Darksiders armor here. And I enchanted it a bunch, and I upgraded it a bunch, so it looks pretty cool. And I have this Dragonbone bow. These are just normal arrows. And I also have a Dragonbone greatsword. And through the process of looking through all these weapons, I kind of decided, it would be cool if I was a two-handed guy. So now I'm just going to start using two-handed weapons, because if you've noticed, you can actually see there's a scythe now, which is just like, I believe it came with the Darksiders, but I'm not sure. But I don't know what mod it came with. I'm pretty shitty, but yeah, there's that. I guess I'll show you with the armor and apparel. There's basically this, and I enchanted it. So my health regenerates a shit ton faster, and you can see like this armor is ridiculously good. I used a couple smithing potions whenever I improved it, so it is ridiculously good. I increased my heavy armor skill by 41 points, so I get a lot of armor. Like you can see down there, that's almost 800 armor rating, and down there it's like 200 attacks do 68% more damage, which is a lot because both of my main weapons now are two-handed and muffled. 200 attacks, so 68 more damage, and bows the same amount, which I like. This is the same enchantment, and that's the same enchantment. So basically, my two-handed bow is going to be a shit ton of damage, and that's a bows, except also with drowning thing, so you can't drown. And this is basically just two things that I added to increase my carrying capacity. So like on the off chance that I, let's say, like have 444 and I see like a sword and I really want it, I can just attach those two things instead of my current things, and I'll have pretty much enough to carry anything extra. And my sword, as you can see, I actually, I'll believe it or not, I added kind of themes whenever I was enchanting stuff, because I'm a fucking idiot. But this one, I'm like, okay, a great sword. This is like a dragon bone sword. If I was gonna have a dragon bone sword, I would want it to be just like this absolute like rocking like thing that one shots people. So I added stuff that did a lot of damage. So you can see burns target for a bunch of points, and then shocks damage for a bunch of points. So I mean, this is just gonna be whacking through people. There's the bow, pretty much the same thing, except also it has an enchantment that if a target dies, it fills a soul gem. So basically my idea here was like, oh, it's gonna be one-shotting people, filling up soul gems like a motherfucker, because that is a shit ton. Like, that is 442 plus 112 I gather from my archery, maybe armor, I don't know where that's applied, but then war scythe. And I'm thinking scythe, like, okay, I have this death armor on, I have a scythe, like I'm death, like I'm gonna be draining their health and stealing their soul. So that's the absorb points of health and filling soul gem. Yeah, I already showed you that stuff. So I will show you kind of what I added to this place. Hopefully the frames don't go down too much, because I remember that was a problem last time, but I did kind of deck this place out with some armor on the mannequins. I was crafting a bunch of stuff, and I wanted to show, and I forgot to mention, but to do this stuff, like to get this armor, I had to grind up my smithing quite a bit. So I do have the dragon bone perk now. My smithing is 100. I still want to get the light armor, because there are a lot of cool armors that I'd like to have on mannequins, kind of like as decoration, that are light armor that come with some of the mods. So you have like dragon bone, dragon scale, dwarven, because like obviously that just looks cool. This is the armor of a guy who snuck on my boat. You probably noticed him up there, but he just appeared on my boat, so I killed him. Put his armor there, and that's orcish. You have the nightingale stuff there, and actually lightsabers. You can. I'm not gonna take them out because it's kind of lengthy, but yeah, lightsabers there. So yes, we're good there. We're pretty much up to date with everything, I believe. And oh, there's some other stuff that I will explain on the way to the next quest. I don't want to waste any more time. This is like almost 13 minutes, just kind of getting everybody back up to date. I didn't mean to like do a bunch of stuff off screen that kind of like sucks for people who enjoy watching that stuff. But there aren't a lot of people watching my videos anyway, and I'm pretty sure it's safe to assume that the ones who do aren't going to mind a little bit of cutting out the smithing and enchanting and stuff. Alright, so we're on our way to the Twilight Sepulchre to complete the Thieves Guild questline. So this is gonna be pretty exciting. I don't know which way is the best to go from here. It looks like